Good evening. How do you do? Good to have you here. So, I like to start with a question. Just feel free. We're a small group here. How many of you guys have a habit of meditating? Question number one. And if you don't have a habit, do you ever meditate? Okay. Question. Do you have a habit of meditating? Okay. Anybody else have a habit of meditating? Excellent. Okay, you don't need to be a meditator. Okay. How about have you guys meditated? Have you guys been? Okay. May can you share with us how you meditate? What is your yeah? Because I'm only bringing these questions to the table because there's a lot of myth on meditation. It's like, they gotta meditate this way or that way. And what we've been talking about here, that's why it's a series. We bring this every month, and we try to I wouldn't say educate, but make it a little more clear. Meditation is here in the Spiritist Center where we are right now. That's what we do the most. So that's a need that we have. I'm sorry, go ahead.
That is actually a very interesting question, because on the drive here, her and I, we were talking about meditation. And I told her, there's a myth where meditation is you sitting down, with the legs crossed, and you are there, not thinking and controlling your thoughts. I said that's just one type of meditation. I actually used her grandmother, my mom, as an example. I said your grandmother wakes up every morning at 5 a.m. and she does the rosary. That is a type of meditation.
Perfect.
So I was explaining that to her. So I alternate my meditation between, the seated fixed meditation. But what I enjoy the most is the meditation that I do in the morning. I live in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like the reading.
Yeah.
I like my walks where I recite a mantra. And that's how I get in connection with God. So that's kind of my meditation and my morning prayer.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Rudy. Appreciate it. How about you, sir? How do you meditate?
Try to release everything that the stresses of every day. And just
right.
And concentrate more on.
Any specific place or any?
Not specific. Home usually.
At home, okay.
Not necessarily.
Just take a break.
Or even at work.
All right. You just take time out. Okay. Cool. Easy to mind. How about you, my friend?
Pretty much the same as what you were just saying with regards to the time out. I'm very busy throughout the day. I have a lot of interruptions, and sometimes it's just finding that 10 minutes to be able to mentally clear everything that's going through my mind and just get back to peace.
Right. That's pretty much the core. We want to, and there are fantastic methods of meditation. The Buddhists are very known for having, in their culture and so on. In my own, the way that I meditate in the morning and at night. Sometimes it's interesting. It's very interesting. Sometimes where I meditate in the morning, with some insight that I had from the night before. Sort of like, when you go to sleep at night, your body is at rest, but your spirit is active, very active. Especially if you have the meaning, if you really wanted to, and this is something that we can use before we go to sleep. It's like a light meditation. Like, let's say you had a very turbulent day, and most of us will just have like a prayer, just quick prayer, and then some people easily disconnect. Other people, you need to, sometimes flip the phone, read a book. For me, reading a couple pages of a book that I enjoy, it's a done deal. But there are days that that's not enough. So you need to add to it. And I enjoy I'm a multitasker, so I like to listen to a little bit of music. I'm reading the book, and that's good. But our mind, our mind needs to have some closure. We need to have some closure for us to be, that deep sleep is that sleep that you're really free. Free meaning like, our spirit part, which is who we are really, right? This is just like the body is a machine. Who we are really, it's what's inside, not in a material form, but what makes us be who we are. So once we have that special moment, and we don't really, we take sleeping for granted, because sleeping biologically, it's a necessity. But spiritually, it is so important, because that's when we can actually have companies of very enlightened friends who come and give us advice. And depending on the tendency of our thoughts, we can, you guys know about nightmares, right? That sometimes are companies of not so great friends, but we're our mental vibration. What's inside of our hearts or inside of our minds, it's so aligned to that kind of vibration that we will attract them, and we'll spend a few hours with them during the night, and sometimes we wake up like in sweats and heavy. Or sometimes there is no science to this, really. We're not here to talk about that. But there are sometimes that sometimes there are nightmares that are useful for us. Sometimes our good friends take us to some experiences, some places, or some situations that we need to face to alleviate traumas that we've been carrying on, and then we go through those experiences, and we might wake up alleviated. So my better meditation is before I go to sleep, because I try to, as I ease my mind with the music, with the reading, and then I get into a few minutes of, get intimate with God, with all the power that makes my life be what my life is. And I have the moment of redeeming myself. Just letting go is like I literally put my life, everything, in His hands. Similar to when I'm fearful when I'm flying. I fly quite a bit, and every time we're taking off, it comes like that fear, and I have to do that meditation prayer and just letting go. And you know what? If this plane if my time is to come right now, let it be. I'm just grateful. So gratitude is the key. So the way I do it, and the way we should always include in whatever type of meditation we do, put that part of gratitude, just like in the reading here. Just appreciate life, appreciate everything that it's surrounded us. Even if we're facing a lot of challenge and difficulty, we're here. We are here. We're not just a speck in the universe. We are living this life, this experience, this existence. We're meeting people, we're impacting people, and people are impacting us, and we're gonna come out of here better than we came in. We're gonna get out better than we're in. So I think gratitude, it's really the message here, is the key, and that's how I make myself disconnect. And then when I wake up in the morning, I do sometimes like you, a little walk through nature, or just sometimes just, taking your dog for a walk, or doing something that it's gardening. Gardening is such a great meditation, or just, I remember when I was a kid, we all had chores, large family, and my mom used to give us like those big chores, like to sweep the backyard, huge backyard, a lot of trees. And it's like, you are kidding me, right? It's like, how are you going? It never ends. So she says, you know, when you get bored, you just put a song in your mind, keep singing the song. Eventually, you know, go little by little, we get there. And she was so neat that we also had to wash the sidewalk. We didn't have a pressure washer machine. Thank you so much. And we had to do it the hose, old-fashioned way, with a broom and a hose. And that would take like easy an hour and a half. And then was again, you know, that song, and you're just doing there, and you go slowly. That was actually a good way that my mom got us 4 boys, 4 girls in, you know, or 10 in our family. It was a way for us to kind of keep it ourselves grounded, because we were a little bit wild those days. So one of the things that the World Health Organization has for mental health, for us to find balance, and this is it is very basic knowledge that meditation is a very good tool for us to balance ourselves and have, you know, we talk about mental health nowadays, but you know, it's really like you know, you walking in a territory that everybody has different concepts of mental health. But one of the things that it's the guidelines. You have to take care of yourself physically. You got to take care of your body. Doing exercise important, but doing meditation and also doing something for others, being part of a community, and this is getting more and more and more emphasis. And this is how I think this new culture of mental health, because nobody is 100% balanced. We all have our issues in our minds. It's in our DNA. We have a past, and we're not talking a past right now, things that we did it ourselves. We're talking a past of many lives, and we're, you know, sometimes we come carrying a big load, because before we reincarnated here, we know the load that we had to, you know, let's change it into, you know, simple English, to wash our dirty clothes. So, you know, it's a big load, so we have to wash it little by little. We're not going to be able to take care of them all in one shot. So we come with that. Freud, in many of his papers, he explains that. But one of the things that the difference between science and religion and spirituality, because religion is not necessarily spirituality, is the fact that one of the things that I read, I was like, I used to enjoy Freud for the reasoning and the rationale. I enjoy his rationale, but there is one thing that he says, you know, there is one thing that's unnatural, that Jesus that Jesus said that if somebody hits your face, you have to give the other face, and you know, that kind of humbleness, that is not in a human nature. That kind of forgiveness, that kind of transcendence. And he is right if you're talking about the biological man, because it is not in our nature biologically, but in our spirit, in what we are made of, completely. But there is a big gap between us making this transcendence of being the sensorial being that we are here. It's the hardest part that we have to manage, is that how can I be an eternal, a spirit that's going to go through other lives, head lives, it's existing now, going through everything that I'm going to, and I'm doing the best I can. How do I cope with living this life, but at the same time disconnecting from, you know, being this sensorial being? It's a hard exercise, and we need a lot of a lot of food for our thoughts. We need a lot of tools. We need to be more equipped. And that is why not Jesus, the historical man, the person, that what he meant, but what his content, the moral teachings that he brought in. And it's still so valid and so necessary for us as humanity to shape ourselves a little bit different, because if it wasn't for us tolerating ourselves to have our moral balances, we had already exterminated ourselves. That's the principle of wars, right? It's about exterminating. So there resides inside of us this being that is always trying to come out, and the emotional control, the emotional balance has to do with our inner being. So that's how meditation will help us to make this connection. We don't have much time, but in the next half hour or so, we will try to do some simple meditation exercises for us to kind of be more connected. I think I even have some slides here that sometimes these things work, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, go here. Okay, doesn't work here either. Here's let the man do what he does best. So that's what we're going to try to do. Some simple exercises at the end. This is why Joanna de Angelis, the spirit who wrote this book here. So there's always a great message connected to what we do. At the end, we're gonna do a walk through nature. That is my favorite part. We do like a visualization, sort of like we try to transport ourselves, have beautiful nature, like mountains, lakes, rivers, flowers, little butterflies. We do that. And then we ingest that in. And then we're going to go to like, then we're going to close our eyes, and then we're going to try to wash away stuff that is just there blocking ourselves, and we're going to try to make that connection. We're going to bring gratitude into that. And then we'll be able to connect to this more perfect being that exists inside of us. And we will ask that perfect being and all of our friends to help us, strengthen us, enlighten us more. So perhaps we will get something out of this exercise. I have something here in the slides that talks a little bit of the meditation per se, which I'm not going to go through all the slides, but there is this mindfulness, consciousness, and awareness. This is pretty much bringing together what we're talking about of what is being mindful, what is being conscious and aware. It is the fact that we have to have meaning to our lives. What am I doing here? Who am I? Who I am? Where did I come from? Where am I going to go? What is the purpose of this life? Am I achieving the objectives that I think I have, or everything is just a blur? So we try, and the awareness is like, ooh, wait a minute. We start asking those very difficult questions that sometimes it's hard to have like an answer. In Spiritism, we do have answers for all of that, because that's what Spiritism is all about. And then we have, the mind and the spirit. Is the mind and the spirit the same? The mind and the spirit. The mind is it's complex, and so is the spirit, but at the same time it's very simple. In a way, they are similar because one of the great philosophers said, I am what I think. I think, thus I exist. So thinking, having our intelligence, it is the basis of who we are. If we didn't have the discernment and the intelligence of we will be one of the beings in nature that it's still in its state of development. We have come to our evolution to the point that we are like they say, we're on top of the chain of nature. There is no smarter being than man, and so in this planet, right? We're just talking about earthly conversation, and there are some resources for us to achieve more of this balance. Okay, this thing doesn't work. Go with this. Okay, so we're going to do this part one of our in our exercise, which is just breathing. That's part of the awareness. So we separate it in three parts. So we're gonna breathe. We're gonna do breathing exercise to relax our mind. We're gonna do breathing to exercise more control. Why breathing? Why breathing is something so key in meditation. And this is something that whatever way you guys meditate, include breathing exercise in it. Because breathing exercise, it's you commanding your body. And we do that automatically. We give commands, our mind is giving commands to our body the whole time. It's automatic. You don't notice. But there is specific commands that you can really follow the path, and you can communicate. When you breathe and you're talking to your lungs, you're talking to your heart. You're taking time out. You're taking a pause, and then you feel the air filling your lungs. If you could see the micro beings inside of us that make us, the trillions of cells, and everything takes on that oxygen, and you are talking to yourself, you're talking to your body, and you're receiving back. It's a very simple thing, but we don't think about it. It's so neat. It's so extrasensorial, because that's what we're trying to achieve in a meditation. We wanted to get out of the day-to-day four senses that we have, four senses, right? The hearing, the touch, the smell, and the taste, right? The four. That's the fourth sense we have. They say the fifth sense is it's our sensitiveness, or you can call it, if you have a more sensitive mediumship within you, that's what they call the fifth sense. I don't know if you saw the movie. The sixth sense. So yeah, so it's the sixth sense. So we have five senses. So we have to go back. Let's go back. We have to be in the same page here. So hearing, sight, right? Hearing, sight, taste, that's 3, touch, 4, and smell, 5, right? Hearing, sight, smell, taste, touch. Okay. So the sixth sense is the sensitiveness. It's a little bit of the transcendence part, that we're away from those 5 senses and we get into a sense that is not really material. Because everything else, our brains are using images and everything that has to do with matter. But once you break out of the matter, you're transcending. And so breathing is very important. We're going to do that, and that's the 3 parts that we're going to try to achieve. And then the part 2, freeing ourselves, mindfulness. This is how we can really get a little more peace and kindness inside of us. Letting go disturbances, freeing from guilt and anxiety, forgiving self, forgiving others. I have to pause here a little bit, because we're talking about key ingredients to meditation. What makes meditation so important? In this part here, the freeing, there is one thing that is common in depression, in anxiety and stress. Stress, it's part of life, it's necessary, but stress can become very negative, can be very, it's very alarming. It can really disturb your health. Do you know what's the common denominator that we have for anxiety, depression, and everything in between there?
Guilt.
Guilt is one, but it's even before guilt. Anything else besides guilt?
Fear.
Fear. Thank you. Fear. We have fear. We have this fear because, and then when you talk about fear, it's like, it gives an insecurity, the insecurity causes our anxiety for us to get more anxious. The fear that, that you're not accepted, that your self-esteem, it's devalued because of fear, and most times it's ignorance on our part. But fear plays a very, very strong role. And fear, a little bit of fear, it's necessary, and it's biologically, if you bring back the man, the woman, the biological man and woman, it's there. It's the fight or flight part of our construction biologically. But fear, when we're talking about transcending and looking into our spiritual being, one of the biggest fear, what's one of the biggest fears that we have besides taxes? I know you're going to say that, Rudy. Benjamin Franklin said, right? There is two things in life that is certain, but this also has to do with fear. It's fear of dying. Have you stopped to think why we're so fearful? Why we don't really want to die? Is it because we want to live forever? Not really, right? We know we're not going to live forever. But have you stopped and think about it? I have done a lot of thought lately. In fact, sometimes I don't know if any of you guys ever did like deep diving. That's one of the most fearful experiences I had, because you literally think you're going to die. You panic. You have a panic attack, because there you are, 25, 30 feet down, and you have these weights on you, you have these tanks, and you have this oxygen, and you see the little needle going, and the more panic that you have, the more consumption of oxygen, and you just have what? Perhaps 30 minutes, 45, if you're a good diver. But I was just learning. it was like my first dive, and I thought I was going to die. And every once in a while, and that's why I have to do the meditation. Every once in a while, that panic sensation that you're really gonna die, and because you look, there is nothing, and it's just you and that equipment. And that's the part that we have to let go. That's when we let go. We really do you have to deliver yourself. It's like we are more than what we are here. We're gonna need to have more trust. So, because I already went through a life in that situation, when that thought comes in, that's when I bring myself to, you know what? Just like when the plane is taking off, just like every night before going to sleep, if this is my last day, if this is the last breath I'm taking, I am grateful. Thank you, God, so very much. I had, I don't care if my life has been short, but whatever I have lived, I thank you. And if it is my time to go, I go. But if I can fight this, and if you help me, I can get out of this situation. I will appreciate your help, and we get through it. So fear is something that gets us like an anchor. It brings us down, but we don't need to be stuck there. You know, you can simply you go back to the breathing, and that's actually what the course instructor told me. Breathe slowly for your mind, you know. Everything's gonna be okay. Be positive. Be positive. You know what to do, number one. So in a situation like this, you think you're gonna die, you are like 30 feet down, and your vision start getting blurry, your heart it's like you have to bring yourself in a situation that you have to breathe better. You have to start breathing, and you have to calm your mind. That's how your mind is in control. You just tell your mind, because you tell your mind, it's kind of weird because that's you, right? But you're telling yourself. You just tell them everything's going to be okay. I know what to do. And after I did everything I know what I have to do, and if nothing works, I'm okay. I done it, and I'm going to come out of this. The third part, it's thinking and connecting, which is that part of gratitude, connecting again to the peace and kindness, because that exists in us. We say that we have a couple of friends here, and we appreciate their talks about neuroscience, and they talk about a lot. There is about 50 to 65,000 thoughts that goes on orbit in our minds every single day. Isn't it amazing how our brain, our brain is such a machine that we deal with all of that? Because we're recycling, we're throwing a lot of stuff away, and we're keeping just the stuff that's good, and stuff that's bad we just throw away. But that's a lot to handle. But that's the sensorial being. The spiritual being that we are, it's the most important, the one that is in control, if we want to. We just have a few. If you think about it, what goes on in your mind all day long? We have needs, and we have feelings, have these emotions, and there are a few thoughts. I'm going to give my examples. Like core, what is core for you? What's going on in your life? What's going on in your heart? It's like, I want to have, we need to work, we work. But you know what, God, I just want to have a peaceful life. I want my kids to be okay. I want to be able to, to have a good health and to have a decent life and being peace and learn more. I don't ask for much. I'm kind of, it's not, many people say, but that's kind of mediocre to think little, you have to be ambitious, You can have your ambitions, it's okay, you want to have a Ferrari in the next 2 years, it's okay too, it can be that in your core. But the point here, we have only a few core thoughts that have to do with our values. And that's when we need to know, what do I want from my life? There are things that we want, and there are things that we do. And and we are who we are. If you have tendencies to be very negative throughout your life, you're going to need to work through those negative tendencies. But at the end of the day, you have to know who you are. We have to know ourselves. You need to go visit ourselves and know, okay, that's why I'm having constantly the same kind of thought. It's so negative. I don't like it. Do you like it? No, I don't like it. Because every time I'm in the situation, this doesn't happen. It's like a cycle. We only have a few visiting thoughts over and over, and they just change shapes and color, but they're the same. It's like what you want. So we have to make sure that we know what we want. Sometimes we want too many things and we kind of get lost there. So it's important for us to have that sense of knowing who we are and what we want. Thanking life and the Creator, gratitude for our journey so far, believing in strength, courage, and humility towards responsibilities. Of course, if you want a lot of things, you're going to have a lot of responsibilities. So it's either you reshape what you want, or you face up to all of those responsibilities. believe in ourselves in a positive outlook, progress always with love and benevolence. Enough of talk. We're gonna jump right in our. Here we go here. Maybe I need Italo to help me here. And this guy here. Okay, so this is the next 15 minutes we're going to meditate. Let's see if everything works well. So, those three parts, we're going to do those three parts again. The first part is breathing. The second part is the awareness, the consciousness. Let's be here. The third part is the connecting. We're going to connect to the Creator. We're going to connect to this source of gratitude. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to invite you guys just for a couple minutes. Okay, I think this is good. So just a couple minutes, you can just turn out those lights. Let's go together I want you to visualize this walk in nature. So we're going to do a visual ingestion, just like before. You can kill this. There you go. So just like imagine yourself, visualize yourself, just like being just like a bird flying over all of these mountains. Okay, do not close your eyes yet. I need you to ingest all of this, absorb all of these nice imageries. Because we're going to need to recall them a little bit later. We just, as we go through this flight over nature, just start to relax your mind. Just really, really transport yourself into this magical place. Feel this water just running through. It starts from the top of the mountain. And it's gonna go slowly, slowly, wrapping around the valley. Many, many mountains. It's amazing how much nature gives us life, gives us abundance, and water is so much part in who we are and what keeps us alive. And now that we're seeing a little bit of colors and images, just a little longer, just a little more, let's just capture here. Now we start walking in these fields. Let's do everything very slowly. Just start to relax your mind. It's time to take a break. Walking around and observing and enjoying it, taking it in all of this beauty. Let this light background sounds keep you centered, keep you very centered. Be right here. Be right here. And now we're gonna lay down underneath of this tree here. Just like they say, that's like the psalmist in Psalm 23 says that the Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. I shall not want. I have everything. Makes me lay down in green pastures, takes me to tranquil, refreshing waters, refreshes my soul. Now that we're here, now we can start closing our eyes very slowly. And we're gonna breathe. Let's breathe very deeply, counting 1, 2, 3, 4 to hold. Inhale. Hold it for a little bit and let go. Slowly. Let's do it again. Inhale. Hold it. And let go. Let's breathe very deeply. Inhaling and exhaling. And let's continue to do this breathing. To be very, very aware of the beauty, the power that we are. As we breathe, we feel our lungs filling with air. As our lungs fill with air, we visualize every little cell of our body being fed, being replenished with the oxygen that we take from nature, that we take it for granted. We don't even really care where the oxygen that we breathe comes from. We just breathe. But right now, we are appreciating our breathing. So as you breathe in, let go slowly. Feel your heart beating. Pay attention. Pay attention to your heart. Your heart and your lungs, they work together. They are just two engines of life, our physical life. We need them. They keep us going. As you breathe and you let go, appreciate your heart that beats over 100,000 times a day, to open and close, to distribute blood throughout your whole body, to let go out through your lungs, the part that needs to be let go. When you bring in the part of the oxygen that feeds in your cells and feeds in your day. We are in this constant bringing in what's good and let go what's not good anymore, what's already used. And that is the cycle of life. As we breathe in, let's be grateful for the source of all of this. Oxygen is not just in the clouds or just in the skies. It is in the universe. It is unlimited source of life that we use. Let's be grateful for it. There's a creator. There is no perfect life without a perfect creator. And this life of ours is perfect. Our hearts, our minds, our entire body are made of perfection. Let's continue breathing and let go. As we breathe out, let's let go. Let go what's not necessary anymore. Let's let go of those thoughts of negativity. Let's let go of those emotions that fits nowhere. There's no reason for it to be. Let's let go. Let go. Let's start now the part of the giving in to life as it is. Let's forgive ourselves. Let's forgive any insecurity that we have brought in. Let's forgive ourselves for being fearful. And let's give in to life. Let's give in to the universe. Let's tell ourselves, I have no fear. Say it deeply. I have no fear. Say it in the most intimate of your soul. I have no fear. Fear has no place in me. I give in to life. I give my whole self to God, to the universe, to goodness, to kindness, to everything that makes me be better, complete. I give in to all of that because I know I am made of love. Even though we know we have our imperfections or shortcomings. As we breathe in, as we are aware and conscious that we are here, who we are, let's never forget that our purpose in this life is to receive love and to give love. Let's make that connection. Let's make that connection right now. At the same time that I let go of fear, I let go of insecurity, I let go of all the anxiety, all the depression and the sadness and the hurt that I carried inside of me. Let's forgive. Let's give it a chance to ourselves to free from all of that guilt, hurt, all the traumas that other people had caused into us. I deserve only happiness. And right now, I declare I will have no room for negativity. I have no room for fear. I have no room for guilt. I trust in God. I trust in myself. I trust in the life that He gave to me. And I am grateful. I am so grateful. I see you, God, through nature. I am grateful for this beautiful nature that surrounds us. Not just for the beauty to be observed by my eyes, but for the source of life that fills my soul. I know I will never be alone. I will never be alone, abandoned. You are with me. You are with me, God. And right now, I accept all the light, all the enlightenment through my soul. I accept the help of the spiritual friends who you have trusted from the beginning to help me through this life in the difficult moments. When I do feel alone, when I do feel insecure, when I feel lost, I will look for you. I will look for you and ask for your help, because I know by myself I cannot do nothing. Please help me, God. Help me, my spiritual friends, my guardian angels. Be with me. Be with me to have the strength, the wisdom to help others, because out of my own strength, I cannot do very much. I need you. I am so grateful. So grateful. So grateful. Feel my soul. So every day is a better day. Every day is a new day. Thanks for the people who you have surrounded me with. I am full of gratitude, and my soul is filled with love, with gratitude. Right now I feel the light surrounding me, embracing me, just as I was walking in this beautiful nature, this path of waters, mountains, flowers, smells. I can now transcend just like a butterfly. I know one day we will need to go into our cocoon through a dark night, for our flight as a freedom, as a butterfly transforms from the caterpillar that once was. I know this will happen one day, but I would not let the fear interfere, because I'm grateful every day. I'm grateful. I'm grateful, and I have trust in life. I have trust in myself, and I trust you, God. You're the source of all life, all love. Thank you so very much. We keep breathing. Breathe very calmly now. Let yourself be very absorbed by all of this positive words, this message. Keep breathing slowly. Let your mind be at ease. Take your time. Let your inner self, your most precious self, which is your spirit, take place. Let that be your connection. Visit yourself. If you're sad, it's okay. It's okay to be sad. It's even okay to be desperate too. That's part of life. We're here learning. But if you're sad and you're desperate, assure yourself that you're not alone. There is an answer for everything. Don't worry about the heavy load that sometimes we carry. Little by little, we're going to take care of it. And we're going to be better. We're going to do it. We're going to win it. We just need to take our time, one step at a time. But walk straight. Walk with the forces that make life being. Let's just be surrounded by it and help others in a way as we are so helped, so supported. May the light of God be with us every day. Take home this serenity. Spread it. Be happy. Be a creator of happiness. And so be it. I'm going to invite you to come slowly back to your chairs. You can let yourself be a little more back here as we're going to prepare ourselves for the passes. Our brother Tim is going to invite you. Just take your time, and he's going to help us out with that.